That song is a banger.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I was not ready for the new intro, dude.
That song is hitting, man. Welcome in, everybody, to the first MLS Monday of 2026 here at Scarves and Spikes. Tyler, Henry, Sydney, and we are joined by the ever-famous Favian Renkel.
Oh, man, I'm just a normal guy with a mic. I'm going to tell you guys
Nah, the man, the myth, the legend, bro.
Not us.
I appreciate it. No, that's very nice. It's an honor to be on, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I've interacted with all of you guys over the years, so it's truly a pleasure to finally kind of sit and talk soccer with you guys.
Yeah. We can't make it be this long before we do it again. We'll definitely have you on a lot more for sure. But you've been busy lately, man. Like you've had a lot going on. So I guess just to kind of kick everything off, like let everybody know what's happening.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on again. And yeah, honestly, Kickbase USA is my full-time gig now. So I'm very grateful for being a part of this MLS fantasy kind of train here in New York City. And yeah, it was a fun kind of couple of months, leading up to the announcement that we are the new home of MLS Fantasy. And now it's like, can we get everybody on board to kind of understand that, fantasy could be a way to get your friends and family that don't like MLS to play the game and watch the games with you. So I'm super passionate about getting casual viewers, or let's say non-MLS viewers, to become fans, and almost working at this job, being the head of content over here, is kind of that same idea. And you got to work at a place that you're passionate about, because if you don't do that, man, it's tough sledding. So no, I'm very grateful to be over here. I'm excited to release a whole bunch of content we have coming. I mean, you guys are in a big football town. Fantasy football has punishments, and I'm excited to say that we filmed some punishments for fantasy soccer. So let's just say I might have been embarrassed all over the streets of New York, so definitely keep a lookout for that one. I mean, I'm already being embarrassed with the content, but it doesn't stop there. This is like a humiliation ritual for me. All right.
So what is like one of the most extreme punishments you've heard of? Not from fantasy soccer, but like fantasy football, like American football.
I seen my buddy get tased. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of wild.
No.
And I was like, damn, dude, you can say your lineup every week, dude.
So let me ask you a question though. When you say tase, like, was this like the cattle prod type thing, or was this like the actual two probes?
No, cattle prod.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
Not the real one, right? Yeah.
That sucks.
And I'm like, bro, you couldn't say your lineup? Jeez, man.
Like, it's like 5 minutes a week, dude. Come on, man.
Right.
Never forget again.
Ours were, so in fantasy football with my old job was pretty funny. Like, we all had to like see how many hot dogs we could eat, and then the loser of the league or like had to like post it. And that one was pretty funny too.
That's awesome. I could do like a, I don't know, this really wouldn't be punishment, like a crystal eating contest, like White Castle, depending on where you're at,
Right.
Like, dude, I could go to town on some of those, but I would be so miserable. That would be the punishment after, like, a video of me like throwing up everywhere.
Yeah.
The person who got the most hot dogs got first pick, and then the person that got last in the league had to post it. So I was like, all right, we're paying attention now. we're not losing this league, that's for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I guess just to kind of keep it on that theme for a minute though, like, from your perspective with the kind of content stuff, is it something that you're kind of expecting? Like, how often are y'all going to have stuff coming out? Is it like a weekly thing, or like monthly, or kind of what does that look like?
Honestly, man, a daily thing. So that's kind of like, that's kind of like the nice thing about it not being fully MLS right now. Like, the honest truth about it was MLS at first really pushed fantasy. When I wasn't even a reporter, I was a fan. I was 22, 23 years old about 7 years ago. They were really pushing fantasy at a time. I've even seen some commercials with Landon Donovan in them and everything like that. And nowadays it was kind of like, fantasy could be this potential. And with Kickbase coming in and hiring me, that's honestly my only job, really, to kind of help grow MLS fantasy and create content and do it in a way where we can get basically fans of other sports maybe wanting to play fantasy. So And also, what's nice about Kickbase is they already have a Bundesliga and La Liga base. So we're seeing, honestly, we're seeing some of those guys starting to play the MLS league. Like, and MLS is, probably really liking it because now you have a whole bunch of Germans, interested in Charlotte versus the LA Galaxy. So it's pretty cool because it's almost like a harmonious kind of relationship where, yes, we are an external kind of company. Yes, we are a partner of MLS, but it's definitely beneficial for Kickbase to kind of, help MLS grow in a way. And then it's also beneficial for MLS to help Kickbase grow in a way because, you get that intersection of all the leagues and everything like that. So no, it's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. But my whole career was making MLS cool, making MLS look cool. And that happened with footwork and like almost every kind of day I take this and I get to do that every day now too.
And there's already like a thriving MLS fantasy community as well. Even before, I know that before, we started this and I started working with these guys here. I was kind of part of an MLS fantasy Discord and we did all that kind of stuff. So no, I mean, for sure, fantasy is a fun game and it's definitely a really interesting and really, really great way to interact with the sport and to kind of find that community as well. Cause I think that's also something important is to find people that kind of like it and kind of get into it as well. Just kind of like yourself, right?
Yeah. It's really cool too, to be kind of an external company too, because we can kind of attack things very fast. I mean, if we make a mistake at Kickbase, we have the manpower to kind of, okay, let's correct the ship, guys. Let's go around and try to make this better because at the end of the day, we are a part of the community as well. I mean, I'm a reporter too. I totally understand the world that we live in this community. And another friend of mine, Justin Ruderman, he writes for MLS Soccer. I brought him on the Kickbase team. So it's something where we have investment into this community too. So that's why it's like, no, guys, we need to make this right. And I think that the fastness of the way we work and trying to make things right with this community, this MLS community that's already here, I think that's going to kind of really, strengthen this partnership throughout the years.
I guess quickly, I know like you can't share like specific numbers and all that, but like quickly, what's like some of the response that you've seen so far since you all announced that you were partnering with Major League Soccer?
Yeah, look, honestly, what's really cool was, see, this is where I kind of like, I look at social media numbers a little too much, but I'm excited to announce that we already have 1,000 followers on Instagram, which to me, that's pretty cool. I mean, like to kind of see the activation of, I mean, we only have like 9 posts, but to see how excited people are when I hop on a project and when I hop onto something. I know 1,000 is nothing, but I mean, well, like in a month, that's so cool. Like I worked for 90 Min in Sports Illustrated before at Minute Media, and we were able to build up a USA account pretty fast in a year. We got like 35K. We were kind of doing things that weren't naturally done in the sports, sphere, especially for soccer. We were translating a lot of South American kind of leagues because, it's never in English, right? So little things like that always make me feel kind of good in a way where we can add to the community and kind of add value to everybody. And I'm excited that on the social media side, at least we are doing a really good job kind of making it fun and like, not taking ourselves too seriously. Like I was kind of scared. I don't know if you guys saw the video of me in a tracksuit, like playing with the ball, but I was kind of scared to release that. I was like, haters have ammo on you for years now.
Yeah.
Like those high knees, you call those high knees? At the end of the day, man, it's like, I bet you anybody that's ever mad at me, if we go to a bar, buy a beer, we'll talk about the sport we all love. So that's why I'm kind of like, I'm a golden retriever in that sense, like let's all have fun together.
Yeah, it's football. This is like the thing that's supposed to bring people together. Just enjoy it, have fun, man. Like some of the coolest moments I've had are traveling. Like I just got back from Dallas covering Atlanta for preseason, and like it's just cool talking to people because out there as of right now, I mean, the talk is the World Cup,
right?
And Dallas is getting more games than pretty much anybody, and so they've definitely like ramped up everything. And a lot of the people that I talked to, they weren't soccer people. They were like just kind of that what you're talking about with like the fantasy stuff where they know MLS is growing. They know soccer, obviously biggest sport in the world, but their thing is like, hey, dude, that tournament is coming here.
Right.
And that's something to be excited about.
Yeah.
So,
in this MLS season, actually, I know I say this often, but this is probably the biggest MLS season for that reason. You get to kind of have a ramp up again after the World Cup, which is going to be crazy. At least on the kickbase side too. It's kind of like kickbase season 1.5 in a way too. Like a lot of times in MLS fantasy, a lot of people maybe tail off in the middle and the end. But hey, what's nice about us is like, hey, we're going to be able to kind of ramp up a 1.5 season and have like a short spurt at the end and then have a whole bunch of fun too. So no, I'm excited to do everything over here.
Nice.
we'll brainstorm here later about growing social media accounts.
No, definitely.
All right, so let's give the Kickbase folks, let's give all the regular fans something to actually talk about. So we've got, obviously, to your point, one of the biggest MLS seasons ever because of the World Cup coming here. Just by nature, it puts a lens and a spotlight on everything. So I guess we'll start, and this is going to be, I told you before, this is going to be a little all over the place. We're not doing a 30-team review or preview because that would take 9 hours.
Yeah.
But we're going to have fun with it. But MLS Cup last year, of course, the GOAT got his, Lionel Messi, Miami, they do their thing, and they go and they have still a pretty busy offseason. What have you kind of taken from what is happening down in South Florida?
Yeah, honestly, it's interesting because this might be the first opportunity or the first time really in MLS that we've seen sweetheart deals and we've seen kind of guys truly take deals that are very similar to like Tom Brady with the Patriots, right? Like this is nothing new in the world of sports to the American sports fan, right? Like Ohtani taking $2 million to win championships with the Dodgers, right? But in MLS soccer, this is so wild for us to kind of fathom that, hey, there's guys that want to come stay here and live here and play with Messi, of course, and play in Miami and play soccer. And the interesting part about it is you really look across the board. Also, something that people don't really talk about, Florida has lighter taxes than almost all the states.
Yeah.
So St. Clair, if you take a look at
income tax, I think, as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So if you really look at St. Clair's deal, I mean, it may be kind of similar to what he got in Minnesota, even though he took a pay cut because of the taxes of Florida. So it is a little interesting on that front. Honestly, Tadeo Allende is the only one that kind of okay. But if we're kind of breaking it down, here's what I think could happen. Tadeo Allende is a normal kind of La Liga Celta Vigo player, right? Yeah. In Miami, he gets 200 people waiting for his signature in a Dick's Sporting Goods. Okay, I think that's kind of nice if you're a regular run-of-the-mill La Liga player. I mean, you can either go play at Celta Vigo, be an okay player, or you can come to Miami, be a superstar, make MLS history, play with Messi. You don't think you would take a little bit of a pay cut for that, right? And it's not like you're living in the worst place in the world. Yeah, Miami's so tough to live in. I truly think that it is a special concoction of a whole bunch of benefits for these guys that they're willing to take these sweetheart deals. And then with Tadeo, he might have taken a pay cut, or he might have gone ahead and extended the contract to be maybe 4 or 5 years to kind of get that salary to be a little lower than a DP spot. But everybody else makes a lot of sense. Like Beto Ramirez is DP, St. Clair just took a pay cut. But yeah, they're assembling the first MLS super team, and it's interesting to watch.
Is it as simple as CCC or bust for Miami?
Oh, 100%. I mean, you don't assemble a team like this. Go get Beto Ramirez, maybe one of the most prolific CONCACAF goal scorers besides Gignac, besides Gignac of Tigres, and not expect to go for it, right? Anything, I don't want to say like Mascherano's job's on the line, but anything less would be shocking.
Yeah, and before I go to my next question, I guess that's kind of the narrative amongst some in South Florida, right? Like you have Messi, you have Suarez, you have the other Barcelona quartet there in South Florida, that if Mascherano can't get the best out of them, then he's going to get the sack. And I feel like, to your point, the pressure is a little bit more on him in 2026, considering the talent that they've brought in. But obviously, it all revolves around number 10 in the midfield. Of course, he had a knock in the preseason that held him out, and Miami had to cancel a preseason match or two.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about that, or is this something that you think will just go away on its own?
Yeah, look, so all right. We'll talk. I mean, maybe we'll talk about this later, but I actually have Messi kind of slowing down a little bit this year. I have it in my mind that in MLS, Messi may take some more games off this year than he has in the last couple of years. Similar to the run-up he had in Copa America, where he was having hamstring tightness a lot. Maybe it's hamstring tightness. Maybe it's just, being very, very precautionary. Maybe he feels a little knock that normally in a normal year he would possibly not miss so much time for. But because it's a World Cup year and because the World Cup is his priority, I mean, he's chasing greatness, right? He's chasing something that has been almost never done before, right? Like back-to-back World Cups, which Pele did it, I think, in the 60s and 70s, if I'm not mistaken, really far back there. I hate to say it, I love our league, guys, but that, the MLS regular season is a long one, and I think Messi definitely prioritizing the World Cup is something that we all know, right? So, no, I think it's going to be a slowdown of Messi, but I think the reason why they re-signed Suarez was because as a facilitator, you can kind of plug in Suarez in the games that Messi doesn't play, and you can kind of play the same way. If you guys remember the Leagues Cup run that Miami had without Messi, when Tata was there, Suarez was kind of playing that role, right? So, yeah, it's very interesting. I'm not too kind of worried about it. Of course, it sucks for the away fans of every game that he is supposed to play at. But if I had to bank on a game I'm buying a ticket to as a fan, I'm choosing a CONCACAF Champions Cup game.
And, when we talk about Messi and this being, the big World Cup year, obviously his priority is going to be Argentina, and it's his last World Cup probably.
Right.
But also, this is a big year for Miami. Like you said, you got CCC, which kind of has to be it. You're defending your MLS Cup. He's defending an MVP and a Golden Boot. They're opening Miami Freedom Park in April.
Right.
There's just so much going on. The question is, how much of that is Messi going to be there for? Because obviously he's going to have a major impact there. So how many games do you think we actually see Messi play this season?
I would say I think the over-under to me would be like 26. I think that's kind of a fair number.
All comps or regular season?
Regular season, excuse me. I could see him maybe playing around 26 or 27 regular season games. And I mean, it's very evident that he can score an assist in every single game. So maybe his numbers don't look like they dropped off too much. But I do think that, I think he's going to take it a little bit slower in the MLS regular season. And I think they actually got a better roster for that. I think they kind of looked at this roster and said, okay, how are we going to win without the GOAT, right? Lionel Messi, the back-to-back MVP. It's by getting a guy like Berterame and re-signing Suarez to maybe not play striker, but to play that fill-in for Messi role where he's more of a 10.
So, and Sydney, I didn't want to cut you off because I know you said you had one more thing.
No.
In terms of their offseason, I guess let's do the school scale, A through F. What would you put them at?
No, they had a stellar offseason. I think they did almost everything right. Like you used your U22 initiative with a cash for, and you were able to kind of buy a guy expensively and bank on the fact that he's going to want to re-sign for you, which is a ballsy move, but a move that they kind of made very well. Another one that I love is going for Dibuwanga and messing up that chemistry.
Yeah.
There's 5 games there, and I like that. I looked at the West and they said, hey, let's do something here. Let's do something. Let's just lowball something real quick. I also like the move for Berterame. I think if you're going for CONCACAF, you need a Liga MX striker like that who's done it before in Monterrey, who's done it before at Estadio Azteca. You know, you need a guy that is used to that type of pressure, and 100%, I like that. St. Clair, you know, he's highly rated. I think he's a great goalkeeper. I just think that back line's leaky, so I'm not sure if I mean, he's going to do a better job than what was there before, but I'm expecting a bit of a dip for him in terms of, you know, how many goals go in the back of the net for him as a goalkeeper. But I still love that move. I still think the ambition of Inter Miami trying to go for Blackman as well, a little bit of mind games there as well, was awesome. Mikael is a great kind of second option for a center back to bring in. And then basically you upgraded your whole spine, which is something that is hard to do when you win an MLS Cup, and they did it. So I had to give them an A. Look on the other side of the of the MLS Cup final, Vancouver had to sell guys, right? So because they couldn't make the salary work. Miami, so a lot of times, teams write in bonuses for players when they reach MLS Cup. I'm almost thinking that Miami was so bullish on winning championships that they wrote a lot of these kind of non-bonus contracts with their players. And I think a team like Miami could probably get away with that. And maybe it's evident because they didn't really have to get rid of anybody. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see how they're attacking MLS with the thought that they have Messi, like they're really using every aspect of the roster mechanism to really try to get ahead.
Tommy said Favian stole my award.
I stole his worst award on the batter. Yeah. Because I said Messi was a bust, and at the time, he didn't win MLS Cup. He could have been a bust.
Yeah, and that's just one of those things. That's like walking into enemy territory and being like, "Shoot me!"
Yeah.
Let's go. So, you mentioned, a lot of the new signings from Miami, and I know we're jumping around.
Yeah.
But one of those is obviously Bertrame, you mentioned. Then over in Minnesota, you got Rodriguez, and then of course the Earthquake signing Timo Werner. Kind of wild, obviously, following a year where you get Müller and Son, and then before that, Busquets and Alba, and the whole, smorgasbord of old Barcelona players.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you think, and we'll just use those three, but throw in whatever you want. What kind of impact do you think they're going to have for their respective teams?
Yeah, look, honestly, I'm going to start with the craziest transfer of the offseason, which was James. I think nobody in their right mind thought James would go in the middle of Minnesota and play soccer for 6 months. I don't even think he'd go for 1 month, no, I think Minnesota fans really were like scrambling for any sort of hope, and their team landed the best thing they possibly could with James Rodriguez. I mean, you get on the business side, you get sellouts every game, you get jersey sales. I expect him to be in the top 3 along with Messi and Son. This is, to the Latin community, at least from where I'm coming from, easily a top 5 transfer that you can get in terms of notoriety of the player, right? Like, you have Messi, you have Ronaldo, you have Neymar, maybe James or Mbappe. That's kind of like where the next ones would be, right? So it is interesting that it is pretty big, but then at the same time, MLS is kind of in a different place. He didn't go to LA. He didn't go to Miami. He didn't go to New York. He went to Minnesota. So personally, I think it's a great move for MLS. This is kind of like a new era for MLS. And I see that comment. Yes, he's usually not good for clubs, but at the same time, what do you have to lose if you're Minnesota? It's only a 6-month move. You kind of need a little bit of confidence going into this MLS season with a brand new coach. You lost St. Clair. You just named a street after him and he left. And now you lost Robin Lod too, a big playmaker for you. It's just interesting. Like, you have to be able to kind of go with. It's funny because I'm always like, did they have the discovery rights and then they just shot their shot?
Right.
Like, this is like, it's part of my French here, but this is like you're on Instagram, you shoot your shot at the prettiest girl you know, and then you land it, and then you're just having the best time of your life. You're just like, I'm just happy to be here. And I think that's what Minnesota is at now. Out west, Timo Werner. Shout out to Bruce Arena for bringing a PowerPoint to show Timo Werner where San Jose is. That's
Most Bruce Arena thing ever.
Yeah.
That's how you get a player, all right? You make him believe that San Jose is the Mallorca of the United States. No, but in all seriousness, yeah.
Hey, man, but he did a good job selling it. That's all that matters. You're here now.
Yeah.
Sign him up for a new, Hellcat with 25% interest rate, like just get him the car. No, but honestly, this is a move that the Quakes never expected in their history of 30 years, right? Like this is their biggest move since George Best in the 70s, right? So the Quakes have never had a European star. They heard me. They turned off my lights. They never had.
I was like, oh no, he's about to get taken out. Stop talking.
No, and the Quakes fans, they lost Josef, they lost Christian Espinoza, they lost Chicho Arango, and this is kind of the same situation in Minnesota. Like at this point, what do you have to lose? You need to have goals somehow. You get your European star that you always wanted, and I you know what I'm saying on this podcast tour I'm on. I'm saying it's Timo Werner and the boys out there. Like let the boys play with Timo Werner and see what happens, because players like Bo LaRue and Nico Sekiris, very young players, very talented players, but they're going to need to take that next step if they want to do any damage in the West Coast, and they definitely could. They're both two kind of like cusp USMNT guys. So if you're a USMNT, definitely San Jose is a fun watch right now. And then the last one, Betarame, you said, right?
Yeah. And again, throw in any you want to.
Yeah. Betarame is crazy because he had an option to go to Wolves, and I understand Wolves are on their way down, but shoot, he chose an MLS club over the championship and a little bit of the Prem right now. So interesting. It's truly interesting, but at the same time, I think Miami has a potential golden boot on their hands with Betarame too.
I was just going to say just real quick, San Jose, I can't believe they forgot to pick up Espinosa's option, but I guess their loss is certainly Nashville's gain, and it wasn't on our notes, but I mean, Nashville, they're stacked. They, of course, have Surge, who is a Golden Boot contender. They have, of course, Mukhtar. They have now Espinosa added into the mix, right? This is another team that has had a really good off season, and I wouldn't be surprised if this team comes out of the East at this point, or is a team that can challenge for, at absolute worst, a top 4 spot, or maybe in the top 3 in the East if everything comes together the way that they hope that they will in Music City over there.
Yeah, honestly, the craziest quote of the offseason was definitely Bruce Arena saying the moves were addition by subtraction. So take that however you want to take that, but that was said at a press conference for Timo Werner. So yeah, it was interesting. It was definitely interesting, but yeah, Christian Espinoza is a Quakes legend. I mean, he is the all-time assist for that club, so it's almost like Quakes fans are happy for him to finally kind of get a real chance at winning a trophy. And I think that's why maybe they still have affinity to him.
But I guess the question about Werner then is, we know he's not the player that he was, let's say, 7-8 years ago when he was with Leipzig, right? Is it just a scenario where MLS is a little more competitive? Well, a lot more competitive league than Bundesliga, but is this a situation where sort of like a Müller, his countryman, can come in and really have success in MLS where he hadn't had success over the past few years in his previous stops? What do you think?
I honestly think Werner can do a great job in MLS. I think confidence is a big thing with him. And if he has the same skill that he had in Europe, maybe a tiny bit of a fall off. If you guys remember when Son came in, I mean, Son is a different tier, right? But the way Son played against a lot of these MLS defenses right away was kind of wild, and I mean, I'm not expecting that to the same degree, but I still think Timo Werner is going to maybe be a step or two better than a lot of MLS defenders. So the confidence, I think, will come with Timo Werner playing in the Quakes. Now, the question is, will he get the ball enough? Will he find a running mate that is good with him in the chemistry, right? He hasn't come yet to MLS preseason, so it's going to take a couple of weeks before they integrate him to the team. The Quakes kind of have to tread water a bit when it comes to surviving without Timo Werner for the first maybe 2 or 3 games in the season. But no, it's definitely something that I can see Timo Werner, excelling. But the one thing that he kind of said in his press conference that I still find really crazy is that he knew that Son was coming to LAFC before everybody. And I was like, oh, so they were plotting for sure. So maybe, just maybe, Timo definitely thought about coming to MLS because of Son too.
That'll be a fun Cali Classico.
Yeah.
Them meeting up, former teammates and all. But yeah, I mean, you talked about it a little bit. Kind of their arrivals were a little bit different. Son obviously, can't compare the type of player that he is, but also the fact that he comes into a team and basically immediately, man, just meshes with Bouanga and just immediately integrates into this team and is just shows how much of a star he is. The question is, who can Timo Werner do that with in San Jose, and how fast will that adjustment be? And then I guess the other question is, if we're talking about, can he be successful? What does success look like for Timo Werner in MLS with San Jose?
Yeah, as of right now, he's lining up with Preston Judd. So unless Preston Judd makes a really big jump in his career in MLS, it may be tough.
So we kind of touched on Müller, we kind of touched on Son and the tremendous debuts that they had with MLS or in MLS in 2025. Müller in Vancouver, of course, going to the MLS Cup, losing to Inter Miami. So this is year 2 or the first full season that we'll see Thomas Müller in MLS, and we'll see Heung-min in MLS. Again, tremendous runs last year when they came into the league. How can they top that in 2026? And can they top that in 2026, do you think?
Yeah, I think Son is going to have a crazy year. I think Son can easily top it by taking that MVP from Messi this year, and I think it's very possible. I think Son with Bouanga opening up a lot of space, and then maybe Schaffelberg when he comes back from injury, or they go and get a guy during the summer like Griezmann, who knows what this team can do, right? I think Son is just going to be playing at such a superior level to a lot of these Western Conference teams that I think goals are just going to come in bunches for him. Away, LAFC can obviously, do better than last year, is make the MLS Cup. And then for the Vancouver Whitecaps, you really only have 1 or 2 years left of this kind of group, right? You're going to have to get rid of Berhalter or Blackman at some point, or they're going to have to be paid in a certain way that you can't keep guys like Ryan Gauld or Thomas Müller. So the band that the Vancouver Whitecaps made over the last couple of years is their window is closing, and it sucks because it looks like it was just opening at the same time. They need to get over that hump of the MLS Cup final, and but that must be hard with the thought weighing in the back of your mind that you guys might not be a team next year. So it's almost like you're fighting for an MLS Cup and you're fighting to stay alive. But it's such a shame because honestly, I was in Vancouver for the LAFC Vancouver Whitecap playoff match, and I was walking with the Southsiders and Andrew Wiebe out there, and there was at least 8,000 people, it seemed like, walking to the stadium, shutting down downtown Vancouver. And it's such a shame that they can't find an agreement, or at least, the government out there can't let them get a better deal on being housed in that stadium.
They need that Ryan Reynolds money, man, to get over to Vancouver, right? take a little from Wrexham and put it into the hometown team, right?
Right. No, and the hardest part about it is the stadium deal, right? Because they're kind of operating in the red every single game. So the hardest part is kind of finding an investor too that is going to be so in love with this team and so in love with the city that you bring up Ryan Reynolds is like that's the best possible chance, right?
Sorry. I got to go on a rant real quick. I know because I came back in, obviously lost connection. Do y'all have Ring cameras?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Do y'all have the app, the neighborhood app or whatever, where people post
Yes.
or
Where you can find dogs?
Yeah, that one.
That's a fun feature. Very popular feature.
My soapbox is this freaking app. I can't stand how people use it like it's Facebook. It drives me insane. Like, where's a good hair braiding place? Where can I buy birthday supplies? Like, dude, we're looking for like dogs apparently on this app. That's used for you. So
allegedly,
my power flickered, right? Like split second, went out, like I was done, but it hit the internet, so whatever. Then it was right back on, right? So I'm over here deciding, like, should I get on my hotspot or should I wait till the internet kind of reboots and everything? I haven't muted my phone yet, but you're going to hear them probably coming in. There's been at least 20 people and for miles around. So I don't know what just happened. And everybody's like, power flick on? Did your power flick on? Did your power flick on? Like, dude, guys, the power flickered. The first 3 messages should have been a clue.
Right.
Anyway, there's my soapbox. I'm going to get off. Go back talking about Vancouver.
Yeah.
Drives me crazy. Anyway, Vancouver's going to be
another one.
I'll say number 1 in the West. That's my Vancouver prediction.
Oh, no way, dude.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude.
I've got LAFC first in the West.
Yeah, you and everybody else.
So here's my question about LAFC though. They're of course our team in transition with Marc Dos Santos being promoted to head coach after Cherundolo stepped down. I imagine the tactical approach will be the same as Cherundolo preferred. So maybe not a whole lot of differences there. But speaking of Vancouver, he of course was the head coach with the Whitecaps for a few years. Didn't do well at all, but that's led to some skepticism, right? That Dos Santos may not be the right fit for LAFC. So I feel like it's kind of the X factor to look for LAFC in 2026.
Yeah, LAFC has been notorious for underwhelming coaching hires, and this is kind of the same bill for them.
I started Bradley.
Yeah. I mean, Bradley, their first coach. And then after that, I think every single coach has been pretty underwhelming for them in terms of where they find them. I mean, many could say, Cherundolo was horrible, but many could say Cherundolo was good. I mean, he brought a whole bunch of silverware to LAFC, but with the rosters that LAFC had, maybe they could have brought a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think you have Sun, you have Bouanga, you're maybe not making the craziest changes. I think, before a World Cup, maybe you're keeping it a little bit timid in terms of what you're looking for. And then maybe a coach opens up halfway through the season, And I think if Marc Dos Santos kind of blows it out of the gates, you keep him. But if he doesn't, you could easily find someone that maybe isn't going to be a part of a national team in the next cycle. And then you have more opportunities to find a coach that's willing to kind of hop on this project. Maybe like a Wilfred Nancy. No.
Yeah, maybe that one's available.
And to be fair, didn't LAFC try to go for Tata back when he was still available?
Yeah,
so, I mean, clearly they have the ambition and maybe they could look at those names. It's just, I think it's interesting that you have several high profile options out there, and ultimately you settle on Dos Santos. But I guess they see in him the ability to kind of continue what Cherundolo was doing over there. So we'll see. It's a gamble, but it's got to pay off, right? Because you've got Son, you've got this team that's assembled that is set to be, they can be the best LAFC team in the club's history so far. So we got to see that gamble's got to pay off, right?
Yeah, and look, if I'm not mistaken, Cherundolo was from the affiliate Las Vegas Lights as well. So they have a history of kind of bringing up the guy who I mean, in the real world should be getting the job, right? But for LAFC, the ambition, and it's just such a high-profile job. The valuation of the club is so high. You would think that some head coach would want to coach Son in MLS, and Bouanga, maybe the best player in MLS that's not Messi and Son.
It almost feels like they're, and this is not a bad thing. It's going to sound bad, but I feel like they're comfortable with where they're at because, like you said, they've been pretty consistent. Consistent playoff contender. They have some silverware to back it up over years, right? And they do have this knack for bringing in, not the big name coaches, but they've definitely got the players over the year. And it's like you said, it feels like the safe bet at this point because it does give you, and we talked about it a little bit at the end of last year, it gives you like a little bit of leeway because you can say, hey, we've got a history of doing this, of bringing these guys that have kind of been around for a little bit, bringing them up, letting them try it. And then, we've got the money if we really want to throw it at a big name coach because there's plenty out there.
No, exactly. And they have, this is weird, but they kind of have the patience, or they're allowed to have the patience at the same time because this is a World Cup year. So a lot of teams, if you're realizing around the league, are just kind of building flexibility until the World Cup happens because there's going to be coaches and players available after this World Cup.
Yeah.
So before I was rudely interrupted by my power flickering, somebody just, again, this app, did anybody's power just flicker? I was watching Raw. Thanks, guys. Anyway,
right.
Sydney Henry, I didn't know because I was out for a minute. Did y'all want to hit on anything else with Vancouver and LA?
No, I mean, feel like we pretty much covered, Müller and Son, what their impact might be in 2026. I mean, Favian, you were talking about some potential. I think you said potential MVP candidate. In 2026, and we're going to ask you a little bit later. Who do you thought would be the MVP? I feel like the betting favorite at this point is Messi, right? But we were just talking about a few minutes ago.
We can dive into it now. We can do all the predictions.
Honestly, if you take a look at Son's numbers last year, he was on a tear. If he played a full season, he would have competed with Carlos Vela's historic year. And that's the craziest part. Imagine being a fan base that could potentially have 4 Golden Boot winners, if I'm not mistaken, in their history, right? Yeah, exactly. 4 Golden Boot winners in their history with Son this year, if he kind of keeps it up with what he had last year. So LAFC knows how to get scoring players, so great prolific scorers. And I think Son is just going to carry that history that they already have. And I think he's just a different tier of player, man. Like, you watch him play and he's going to do something great.
So Son for you as MVP, right?
Yeah.
All right. Sydney, who you got?
I'm going Sam Surridge, I think, and this is maybe a little bit off the radar here, but you look at, I mentioned earlier, they brought in Christian Espinoza to boost that attack. They have Henry Mukhtar, who we all know how good Mukhtar is on his day, and that provides a whole level of service that Surridge has, I don't want to say never really had when he's been in Nashville, but coming off his career year, well, not career year, but coming off his breakthrough in 2025 after pretty rough start to life in MLS, he's going to be hungrier. He's going to be more used to the league. He's going to be out to really help this team push more toward a goal of winning MLS Cup. They, of course, are coming off Open Cup last year. They want to add more trophies. They want to add more silverware to that proverbial case. So I think Surridge is going to be hungry. I think Hani and Espinosa are going to be hungry as well to really get him that service and continue to help him be the player that he was in 2025. So
Joe agrees with you down in the chat.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Sam Surridge. Henry, what about you? Who's your MVP of 2026?
I've got to go with Son, man, for all the reasons that Favian said. Also because, as we said earlier, Messi is probably not going to play as many games this season as he played last season. And that's going to give Son the advantage as far as, being able to bump up his numbers and kind of get up there. He's on a quality side. He knows Danny Bouanga. He knows these players well. I think this is he's got to be the favorite for me.
Tyler?
It's first of all, Messi's gonna win it. All right, but
No, I don't think so.
it shouldn't be Messi. It's Müller for me. And yeah, for a lot of the reasons that y'all have mentioned, I think, I go back to the conversation we had last year when you had this summer transfer window where you had guys like DePaul and Müller and Son coming in. It was like, what is happening? This is exactly what people have wanted in Major League Soccer for so long. And we had this conversation between Son and Müller because we were trying to determine like who makes the biggest impact on their respective team. And for everything y'all just mentioned, Son comes in and starts absolutely murdering people and hitting the back of the net like crazy. But Müller,
proverbially speaking.
Yeah,
Not literally.
We're after dark. It's okay. But then Müller, I said his numbers aren't going to be that high, but he's going to come in and change the dynamic of the team for the better. And then he ended up putting up numbers too, and so I think going into this year, he has this opportunity where Vancouver has lost a handful of guys, and they're not going to be as cohesive maybe as the LAFC that have kept some guys, the Miami that have kept pretty much everybody. So he can step in and really just prove more cement his place as one of the smarter footballers out there, and I think he's going to just goals and assists. So anyway, there's my selling point on Müller.
For me, I'm going to say this about Surge. I think Nashville is going to kind of be like the Golden State Warriors when they got Kevin Durant, right? If you have MVP candidates, you have none, and that's going to unfortunately happen to Nashville. I think they're going to be great, though. I think they're supporter shield kind of dark horses.
Yeah. That's a good point, though. Really good point. You have too much talent, I guess.
Right. Like too much top
in a sense, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's all about that chemistry. All right. So I guess don't think I've got the MVP list pulled up. Oh yeah, I do. So over on MLS, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Lionel Messi MVP votes, or not votes, but predictions.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sons. And then I love this. You have 1 Anders Dreyer.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I was tempted, but I don't know. It's just without Chucky in the mix. Whoever's going with him, I don't know. I think Dreyer will be good, but
does he need Chucky Lozano? I don't think.
I think his role will increase though without Chucky. To be honest, I don't think he'll be MVP level quite. He'll be close, but I don't think he'll win MVP when it's all said and done.
I just think his quality is to the point where he can.
Too much talent.
He can do enough to kind of make that up and adjust and play with really anyone that they deploy on the left side. I don't know what y'all think, but personally, that's what I saw from Dreyer last season was just his ability to individually do a lot, but also really associate with pretty much anyone that he had nearby.
Yeah, I spoke to Favian. I mean, Dreyer's not a name that we've mentioned at all during this episode, and of course, newcomer of the year, set the league on fire, San Diego. Just a tremendous debut season. Hopefully, they don't go the way of St. Louis, but where does Dreyer figure into things without possibly Chucky? Where does San Diego end up? And kind of getting ahead of myself on the notes here, but what becomes of them, I guess, in 2026?
Yeah, honestly,
is it sustainable?
Yeah, honestly, with MLS teams in their second year, a lot of them suffer a sophomore slump, at least a bit, right?
Except Atlanta.
Yeah, except for Atlanta.
Yeah, it's look 7 or 8 years later, it kind of sucks. Like,
right?
We're still talking about success, but yeah. Anyway, carry on.
And I was so wrong about San Diego last year, and I may be so wrong about them this year. But in my opinion, I feel like there has to be some sort of realistic come down to earth for them. Their season last year was insane, but in MLS, it's so hard to have a DP that's dead weight. And I think even if you think they can do it without him, man, oh man, would it be nice to bring in some sort of reinforcement to kind of help teams, or help teams not be so used to what San Diego can bring, right? Maybe they're too one-dimensional with Dreyer now, right? Because that's all they really have to worry about. So it's interesting to kind of think like, man, is it possible that this team can maybe be in the top 5 of the Western Conference? I think maybe they're still a playoff team. I think Dreyer is going to be good, but I think 1 or 2, I don't think they're gonna make it this time around.
I really enjoyed watching them last year, and we said it all season. Like they were one of the most fun teams to watch because you knew you were at least going to get something entertaining, and they definitely came out on the better end of it more often than not, which is great. I mean, it wasn't like they were playing a ton of 1-0 type games, and
right.
and they look good doing it. And so I just think it's hard to replicate because of even this short time. There's already been some moves. But I just hope they keep the identity that they have because it was enjoyable. It made the league better.
No, I agree. I think if with their right to dream system and Mikey Vara's, I think they're gonna definitely kind of keep their style of play. And if Mikey Vara is saying that Chucky Lozano is not in the plans because of whatever happened, they definitely are very bullish and confident that they can kind of keep it up. And they showed it with Pumas, right? I mean, they're using Quake's 2 guys to kind of route, one of the better teams in Mexico. So we'll see if it's a sustainable thing to do.
Yeah. All right. So I guess while we're kind of on the topic of some of the better teams, just make sure I'm not skipping anything here, but what would it make more sense to do? Supporter Shield or just top 4 in each conference?
Let's do 4 of each conference. Why not?
Let's do it.
Sure.
All right. And Favian, I don't you're the guest, so you can go first, but I know I just threw that question at you. So by all means, if you want to take a minute.
No worries. I'm ready to go, man. This is the podcast tour. This is episode 5. No, I'm ready. For the Western Conference, you got to have LAFC up there. You got to have Vancouver. I think we're gonna get a new team in the top kind of 4. I like Austin FC, man. I think Austin FC has a chance with the changes that they had and Brandon Vasquez kind of being healthy. I could see them being sneaky contenders to be in the top 4 of the Western Conference, which is a weaker conference, right? And I think that they can go ahead and kind of capitalize on Facundo Torres maybe coming back into this league. And you guys know him very, very well in Atlanta, where he was kind of at some point an MLS MVP nominee, but then he could never keep that the whole season, right? He showed flashes. And if he can kind of keep that up, or at least, get to that level now that he's gone abroad and come back, if he can keep that level of an MLS MVP throughout the whole season, we might be looking at one of the better transfers in Austin history, right? So, and then Brandon Vasquez coming back. They kept Uzuni. They got Jaden Nelson, which is a great pickup too. This team is going to look completely different. I mean, they changed Bukhari into Facundo Torres. I mean, they're gonna be better. So, no, I'm excited for this Austin team. And then in 4, call me like a Western Conference perfectionist, but I think the Seattle Sounders are always somewhere in there. I mean, I think you can't. I mean, they never make the flashiest signings anymore, but they just find the best MLS talent out there. And I think Seattle will be in the top 4 as well. Now moving over to the Eastern Conference, Miami number 1, easy. I have Cincinnati or Nashville, 2 and 3. And then 4, should I make you guys happy?
Whichever you prefer.
You don't have to.
I'm a big fan of Tata Martino, and I think him coming back is something that it may go under the radar a bit. And I think maybe he can get the most out of this team. but Columbus is still around.
That's such a wild
New
card, though.
coach.
Yeah,
New coach.
wild
That's
card.
going to be crazy.
But I'll say Atlanta because I'm here. All right,
There
I'll
you
say
go.
Appreciate it.
because I'm the biggest Tata Martino stan. He looks a lot like my dad. Actually, it's pretty funny.
He looks like everybody's dad. Let's be honest.
Right.
Yeah. I look at him, I see my dad, and I'm like, all right, they'll be all right.
Yeah. I'll probably give you all mine. I'll start out west. Vancouver, I think they repeat in the west. They think they're the best team in the west right now. Below them, LAFC, Vix's son, Vix's Bwanga. Question is, and we didn't mention this, does Bwanga stay the entire year?
Right.
He's getting overtures from overseas, and he pretty much had to promise, hey, I'm going to stay here in LA. But does that narrative kind of shift in the summer? So I think that's the key point that we need to maybe keep in mind for LAFC. But I think if Bwanga stays the entire year, I think LAFC is second. San Diego, there's going to be a little drop off, but since the West is not nearly as competitive as the Eastern Conference, I think that San Diego, will still be in that top 4 slot next to Dreyer. I think they need to find something to do with Chucky Lozano. They need to get that resolved. I think even without him, I think this is a talented team. I think they can be in the top 4. And then Minnesota United, I'm going to throw out Minnesota as number 4. Bangi Longwane is still there. Hamas, question mark on Hamas, but I think he'll do enough, I think, to help this team. And, of course, the goalkeeping is the question mark there. Pretty much an even swap with Miami, with Drake Callender coming in to Minnesota, and, of course, St. Clair going down to Miami. Callender, his form hasn't been great over the past couple of years. Can he turn that around in Minnesota? So that's the question that I have for the Loons. So that's my top 4. East in the East, top 4 in the East. Miami, I think, will be number 1. Nashville, I think, will be second in the East. Philadelphia, I'm going to say Philadelphia is going to drop off a little, but not enough that they'll drop out of the top 4. I'll put them at 3. And then at 4, guys, I have NYCFC. I think that's a team that not enough people have been really talking about based on what I've seen in
That's
league
fair.
circles.
That's
so
fair.
I can see NYC being a top 4 team thanks to the talent they have. Alonso Martinez, leading the line, one of the top strikers in MLS, and then just other players part of that setup in the Big Apple. So that's my top 4 for either conference. Henry, Tyler, which one of you want to
get you
go next?
I'll go. All right, let me cook real quick. In the West, I'm gonna say LAFC number 1. Give me some more of that Songa action. I think that's gonna dominate. Number 2, let's go with Vancouver. I got to go with them after a spectacular 2025. I think they run it back. They keep it going. Number 3, I'm going to say San Diego. I do expect them to drop off a little bit, but not that much. And then number 4, because I got to go with them, James and Minnesota United, my parceros. Let's go. That's my top 4 for the West. And then for the East, number 1, Miami, obviously, has to be. Number 2, I'm going to say FC Cincinnati, just because I think they've got a very solid team. I just think they continue what they were doing last season of being a team that can kind of grind out the results and go for most of the season. I'm excited to see Endre Echenike again because he was straight fire throughout the latter part of the season. Number 3, sure, we'll say Nashville because they have built a really good team, and I'm interested to see how that works. And number 4, this one's going to be a little bit out of left field. All right, I'm going to go with the Chicago Fire.
Whoa.
Okay.
Chicago Fire number 4 because look, they already had a solid squad last season, and they have only improved it this offseason. They bring in Robin Led. You have already this kind of front three of Zinkernagel, Hugo Kuipers, and Jonathan Bamba. They've got a very solid team that I think can really compete in this Eastern Conference. So that's kind of my maybe hot take, no pun intended, but I think the Fire are going to be fourth in the East.
That's a low-key good signing for the Fire. Robin Led, who's had several good seasons in MLS. So I think that's a very underrated signing for Greg Berhalter out there in Chicago. What do you think, Tyler?
All right. My West is going to be similar, I think, to most of y'all's, more or less. So I've definitely got LAFC up there. I'm sorry, no, I got Vancouver, and then I got LA. Because I got to stick with what I said earlier. Vancouver, LA. I agree with what you said, Favian. Seattle, they're always there in some way, shape, or form. I feel like they're going to make it in.
Zombie Sounders.
Yeah, that's what they do. I'm struggling with the last one, but I really want to see San Diego back there. I think they drop off a little bit, but I still think they get it figured out halfway through if they're struggling, and they get back to where they need to be. The East, I know I'm about to get yelled at, at least for my fourth one. So Miami won for all the reasons we've mentioned, and Messi. Nashville for all the reasons mentioned already. Y'all taken all the thunder because it all makes sense. Sydney, like you said, Philly definitely up there.
Philly still.
Yeah, I still think Philly, because here's the thing. I literally picked them wooden spoon last year.
Yeah,
They got absolutely rocked. So if we were doing bets on that, I would have been running around New York City in late.
Opposite day.
This one's gonna get me canceled.
Oh no.
Number 4.
Don't say Montreal.
What?
Dang.
Let the hate come in.
I will say in DC's defense, they had a really low-key good offseason. Tiberibo, they brought in. Sean Johnson, they brought in.
Sean Johnson, a couple of studs from overseas.
No.
I don't know, man.
I don't think they're top 4, but they're a playoff team, I think.
You got to throw in a hot take every once in a while. All right, there's my hot take.
That's scorching.
DC, number 4 in the Eastern Conference.
I respect
need
it.
Need like a fire hydrant, Tyler, to put that take out.
I do my best.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I like it.
Favian, I do want to just check in and make sure. I know we're going past an hour.
No. I just have another one at 10:15, but we can go for a little bit longer. No problem.
Okay, we'll get you one more then. Let's see. Which one do you want?
Ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Okay, there you
go. What is your one biggest hot take for this season?
Montreal number 4. Yeah.
Oh man, it's honestly, the season's kind of a little hard to make a hot take. Like, I think saying Son is going to win MVP is not that crazy, right? I think. All right, I'm gonna go with you on this one. All right, I think Thomas is gonna do exceptionally well, more than people are thinking he's gonna do, and he's gonna put Minnesota in a playoff position, and then maybe stay after the World Cup.
Okay. Interesting.
Right. He's going to bring the World Cup trophy back to Minnesota. Let me dream. Okay.
Calm down, Henry.
Henry has started his fan fiction.
Right. I think we have a question here. I mean, we figure we can ask. Well, we had 2 other questions. Who will be the biggest surprise in 2026, do you think? And maybe we can just roundtable this. But Fabi, who are you thinking?
The biggest surprise. I mean, DC is a good shout. Like, that's a great shout. I think Houston Dynamo might shock some people. I mean, I saw Beerley, I think I'm saying that right, Beerley, scored like a hat trick in preseason. And I was like, And it was against an MLS team. And I was like, this is interesting. You know, like maybe they can shock some people compared to where they were last year. I kind of have them slotted in as possibly a 6 to 7, but maybe they kind of shock a little high. And
almost made it through.
Yeah, man, I couldn't get back to that. I'm like, but Houston Dynamo, I think, is for me the shocker.
That's fair. That's fair. They've had a pretty good tournament over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. I think my biggest surprise team in 2026. Let me chew on this a little bit. I think Austin. I mean, we mentioned Austin a little bit earlier, with Brandon Vasquez coming back into the vote, Izuni staying, and signings like that. But I think that, I don't know if there will be like a super surprise because of the names I just mentioned. And then, they have the pieces. I mean, Facutores is back, like we mentioned earlier. Izuni, Vasquez is healthy. If he's fit, right. I think he'll be. Let's see how that leg holds up. In the first few weeks of the season, as he gets his legs underneath him. No pun intended, but I feel like this could be maybe a playoff team if everything falls the way that they need to fall. They need to fall. This maybe is a hot seat kind of situation from Nick Esteves down there in Austin. I think, especially given the fact that this team has had like one good year out of 3 or 4. So I think Esteves has to win down there in Austin, and I think they are a playoff team in 2026.
Henry, you got?
My surprise is not going to be about a team. It's going to be about a player.
Yeah.
But it's still like Fire fans are going to love me. I'm going to say Hugo Kuipers is a Golden Boot contender in 2026 because he is a top tier striker in this league. He's been absolutely killing it. He killed it last season. He's surrounded really, really well this season. The team has only improved. I think he's going to really ball out in 2026.
Oh, what you got?
That's fair. Man, I feel like I already gave you one. Do I need to do another?
Yes, you do.
I think overall, I think the biggest surprise is going to be Columbus not making the playoffs.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yep. I don't know that this coaching change suits them. Now that I say that, they're going to go win MLS Cup. But
right.
no, I just don't see it happening. I think they're going to struggle. I think the identity is like so embedded, and I don't know.
So they sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, you're good.
They brought in Courtois for the assistant coach job. So if it does go south, they can basically cut ties and implement Nancy Ball right back up. So I think that it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's fair. And again, you talk about like the LAFC kind of safe hire.
Yeah,
that's a good point because now you've got a guy at least with pretty significant say in the organization again.
Yeah,
that can take you right back to where you're at now. So, all right, well, who wins MLS Cup, and then we'll cut you loose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yes, but we'll cut you loose.
Yeah. I have LAFC. I think LAFC finally kind of with Sun get over the hump of the last couple of years and return to glory. What's up, Tommy? And I think Miami's going to meet them, and then it's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah,
I like it.
I got Vancouver Revenge Tour from last year. I think the Whitecaps will win in 2026. Henry?
I agree with you. Vancouver.
I'm going to say LAFC. I just think that, again, they've got a really solid squad. I think the Suns MVP season, and LAFC is going to ride that to victory.
We are definitely getting an LAFC Miami final. Garber wanted it so bad last year. And then when he was denied that situation, he said, we got to run it back. We absolutely have it run it back. So you start the season with it, you end the season with it. And it is going to make MLS fans so upset. Everyone is going to absolutely despise it unless you're an LAFC, Miami, or anyone outside the United States. Everyone is going to be upset, and then we're going to talk about bringing in 13 DPs per team.
Tommy has spoken.
Right.
Favian, I know you got to get over to another one. Truly appreciate you coming on, man. We'll cut you loose and then we'll wrap it up. But you're welcome back anytime. And,
thank you.
We'll definitely get together and work on some stuff soon.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, guys.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Where can people find you?
Oh, yeah.
Where can people find you on social? Just real quick.
My bad, guys.
That's my bad.
No, you're good. They can find me at Favian Renkel on any of the big platforms, and then my new work for MLS Fantasy at Kickbase USA. So
awesome.
Yeah. Make sure you guys sign up for Kickbase because you get 2 months basically for free to try. So definitely do that before the start of the season.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks so much.
Philadelphia? You're talking Philadelphia?
What?
Yeah.
Look, I heard you talking about Philadelphia, Tyler.
Yeah. Number 3.
Number 3. No. Look,
after blowing up their roster.
Did you hear what I said after that? I'm surprised that's not the thing you're coming in.
Yeah.
I might have missed it. I was trying. I forgot the password on my phone, so I was trying to find it. I was typing password on my phone, trying to find the login. Thank God for Henry forgetting the password at some point. So that's how I found it.
Yeah.
I said DC number 4.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Get
the hell out of here.
From the guy that said Miggy top 3 winger in MLS.
I know.
And Philadelphia's wooden spoon last season.
Yeah, I see how accurate I am with you.
I mean, a lot of us thought that was going to happen there. The season's back though, guys.
What else we got? I mean, are we?
It's crazy. It's
rapping or what?
Somebody asked me today. They were like, "When's everything start back?" And I'm like, "Freaking Saturday."
Yeah.
It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Wild.
It is.
And it's great because we can watch Cincinnati, we could watch Atlanta, watch another game if we'd like, or have an appetizer, pay attention to your spouse or whatever you're doing for a couple hours, and then go log on and watch Miami and LAFC.
At the Rose Bowl. That'll be fun.
And then we get to go see them in December.
Perhaps.
Again,
maybe.
because that's probably what's going to end up.
Warm weather MLS Cup.
Make Garber happy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sydney, you were saying something, and I don't know if it's
we just went through our notes here. I didn't know if we had anything else to add.
Oh, yes, I do. Okay,
get out of here. What you got?
So, one, and we'll talk about it more on Wednesday, but I think at this point it's just Henry and I doing it, but we're gonna be doing a watch along for the opener. And Tommy, I know you've got some stuff going on, so you'll be in and out doing your thing, and then Sydney, you're gonna be.
I'll be in Cincinnati, yes.
So
50 degrees, I think. 50 degrees, Sydney.
I'll be wearing my have my not winter, but I'll be dressed warm for the weather. But
I wore shorts today in 50-degree weather, buddy. It's gonna be okay.
Right.
I know for you it'll be an adjustment being in Atlanta, but trust me, shorts and a hoodie or a jacket will be more than fine.
So there you go. So you got a place to catch all the stuff, everything. Go on Twitter. Sydney will be there covering the game in person, so I have a lot of first-hand context and everything. So, and then when you're not following that, hang out with me and Henry over on the watch along. So we'll put out links and everything soon. And also, obviously, this is an MLS show, but with a lot of Atlanta audience. So we'll go ahead and say it now. We are giving away one of the new Atlanta United kits. and it is on all of our social media. So X/Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok. Go on there. Got the instructions on each of them. Pretty simple. Basically, just repost and tag a friend, or comment and tag a friend.
Yeah.
And we'll be giving it away on the show on Wednesday when we chat with MLS announcer Nate Bucati.
Yeah, so definitely be watching for that to find out if you won. If you're Patreon backer, you get extra entries. So go to patreon.com/guardsandspikes to sign up, get our Patreon content there, 7-day free trial, and get yourself double entries to win the new Atlanta United Spirit of 96 kit. So that's an exciting giveaway that we're doing right now. Have had a lot of interest in that, even in the first few hours of launching the contest, but as Tyler said, we'll be announcing the winner on Wednesday during Scarves and Spikes. So tune into that. If you're watching or listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, tune into that live. And yeah, hopefully, best of luck to all who enter. Best of luck.
Indeed.
Yeah, and y'all be sure to also join our fantasy league on Fantasy United, completely free. We've got a ton of people there already. I think it's like 17 or something like that. So come through and join, and we'll have some fun, and maybe we'll have some fantasy punishment thing at the end or something. I don't know, or a reward.
More to come.
We got
yeah, just search Fantasy UTD. Just search that in the App Store. But guys,
I'm telling Favian you're not on Kickbase.
Yeah,
I'm telling him.
It's fine.
Well,
great show. Great show.
That was fun.
Join the Patreon, like, subscribe, do the algorithm things, helps us out. Go check out the website. And yeah, what else am I missing, guys?
Catch you guys on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Where are you, Tyler? Where are you on social media?
ATL Pilgrim.
Henry.
H.A. Higita.
Tommy.
Anyone but LAFC in Miami.
Tommy ATL 86. I'm SA Triton X and Blue Sky City Soccer on Threads and Instagram. Scars the letter and Spikes on X. Scarsandspikes.com and Blue Sky Scars and Spikes on Instagram and Threads. And of course, Facebook.com/Scarves and Spikes. Thanks everyone.
Mailbox Day is post regular show Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, next week. Next week you plan on doing that?
This week or next week?
This next week. Next week? Yeah, let's let a game go down, and then I'm sure there will be no overreactions to the first game of the season. Right. There will be no overreactions to the first game of the season. That doesn't happen. So I think we should save the mailbox for after this week.
Stay tuned to our socials. We'll let you know when that happens.
And
mailbag.
You'll know first. It's going to be in Discord.
Yes. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Hit the music.
If you're going to have like another banger of a song, that opening song hits.
I don't have a banger for the opening song or the closing song.
This one's a classic.
Yeah.
Oldie but goodie.
Is it the same one as last year? The MLS one?
No, the MLS one is different.
We have a new theme this year.
Oh, I missed it.
Can
we hit it?
Well, you can rewind it. I'll send you the show
on YouTube.
Come on, guys. I'm coming to distract you for a reason.
I don't know if I can pull it up, but
banger.
Yeah. It's really good.
My box is so much smaller than your guys'